Well, hey folks, welcome back. So, as y'all know, I went to a train show kind of recently this past weekend, and wanted to get everything that I bought at the train show out of their boxes. So, everything that you see on this train, excluding the caboose, is all that I bought from the train show. The only thing that I haven't done to any of the freight cars is changed out some couplers. Now, on the locomotives, I did that. And I went with by an unaware at the time, the 156. The scale head with the long center set couplers. And at first, looking at them, when I put these on the locomotives, I was like, these are a little bit too far on the gap. And quite frankly, they still are. But for the time being, with what I'm working with, they seem to be pretty good. Eventually, I'll probably even swap these out with, I would imagine they're 156, but the same thing, the scale heads, but with a medium shank in the center. So eventually I'll be doing that. So the first thing that you see here is the two Atlas Gold Series GP40s. And I know somebody's probably going to be saying, what's the difference between a GP40 and a GP40-2? The only significant difference, I think, that you can really tell is right along in here somewhere, and I'd have to get one of my two GP40s out, is there's a sight glass along the side of the long hood. There's a couple other noticeable differences out of them, but there's not really anything you can sit here and say, like, oh, the steps are different, the cab's different, the grills are different. I think the fan blades are just a tiny bit smaller on the GP40s compared to the Dash 2 series, but each railroad had their own specifications, so if you're curious, that's something you'd have to look up on yourself. So let's get these two sounded. Now, as I've explained in the sort of review for these models, yes, they are a tiny bit quieter than I would normally like. However, when I've compared it, or not compared it, but when I've ran them with my GP9s here from Athearn, these are kind of an older run, like 2013, I believe. They sound great. They absolutely sound great with them. So not too loud, not too soft, pretty much right down the middle where I like it. So let's go ahead and move these forward and look at the other cars. So these first three cars, our good friend from Mystic Railroad is going to really enjoy these because all three of these are a Southern Railroad model. So the first one here that you're seeing up close, really up close, is a Walthers mainline. This is a Walthers 60-foot Pullman Standard. It's a Southern flat car. So I didn't have any kind of flat cars. I don't have any Southern in my fleet. So I said, you know what? Let's get it and let's enjoy them. I was looking for some Chessie or even B&O flat cars to run with the crane, but hopefully in due time I can find some online. I've found a few of them, but not at the right price. So the second one here is another Southern flat car, and this one is from Athearn, their Ready to Roll series. And another one that really looks good, and I've looked at the built dates. I've really looked at all of the built dates on all of these cars, and they've all fit within my time frame. Some of them are a little bit too new, and some of them are a little bit too old. I'll get to the one that's pretty old here in a second, but rule number one applied. So there's another Southern. This is, like I said, as the Ready to Roll, so not much detail, but it did come with metal wheels. Always a plus. Here's the Walthers. Really good amount of detail on this Walthers, and it's pretty hefty for a flat car. By the way, if you hear any noise in the background, storms are quickly approaching. So there's those. Let's move these forward. I'm going to do two at once. So another one for Mystic, and the last one that he'll enjoy are these Intermountain Evans coil cars, Southern and a C&O B&O car. And again, overall, I never had a Intermountain freight car before. I've had one Intermountain engine, or I've had three of them actually. And they were good models, but I never owned any of their freight cars. And I gotta say, these things are gorgeous. So the hoods, of course, pop off and you can stack them as normal. They come with a coil that is actually a good weight for these models. I would put them right above the trucks there on mine. And the insides are pretty good. I probably would have painted the wood a little bit different on the inside. Let me get my pointer here. I would have painted this a little bit different, but I could probably do that at another time, but I'm not going to worry about it considering most of the time the hoods are on. So here's the C&O model up close. It's a Chesapeake and Ohio with a B&O borrowed hood. And these are the angled cars. So let's go ahead and move these forward. The next one is another Intermountain car. And I don't have too many tank cars. And I've been wanting some more. And this was about the only one that I could find that is close enough to my time period. Everybody else makes modern day tank cars and all that, and it makes it hard for somebody who models the late 70s, early 80s to do anything. So this one is a really beautiful car, and it is heavy. It's not really well detailed underneath, but it is a really nice looking model. It is hefty too. I need to get a scale someday. That is let me check, a ACF Type 27 riveted 80,000 gallon tank car from Gulf State Creosoting. So I grew up in Mississippi for a few years, since 8th grade and middle school all the way up until I graduated from high school. So kind of held a small little place in the heart, I guess you can say. And since I'm in the southern Alabama region now, Gulf State made perfect sense. Next three are basically all sort of the same model car, however slightly different. So the first one here is a Railgun for the B&O. And this one I bought because I saw a couple of videos of these basically brand new in the 1980s. This one says new in 81. So I said that's kind of pushing the time frame that I'm modeling, but that's good enough. In fact, the next one is as well. It's kind of pushing it. Now these are, let me see, these are Walther's mainlines. These are the 53 footers. Good models overall. I think they're perfectly weighed. I would have probably made them a little bit heavier, but not too bad. Detail's good. I'm not crazy about heavy amounts of detail anymore. I'm afraid that I'm gonna start breaking them after a while. It's just, with me constantly moving vehicle or places, probably not a good idea. There's the D&H. It's another railroad that I didn't have in the roster. And finally is the Athearn Athearn Roundhouse. This is a Athearn 50-foot covered hopper for the C&O. And again, another nice model for the roundhouse. These were really good. And the top here does come off, so you can make it just a natural gondola. I'm honestly not sure. I have a hunch, I imagine this is for scrap metal, but if anybody knows what the cover here for is, let me know. I'm very curious as to know what that's for. But that's all the new acquisitions from the train show. So there's all the locomotives now. Every single one of them. So I'm pretty much done with locomotives, as you can see. So there's the rest of the train. There's some of the freight cars that I got, as well as the coal train. So let's go ahead and get these guys moving here. Sorry, I am making y'all dizzy. And let's get a train moving here. And that caboose there is a tangent model, if anybody was wondering. There's the box for it. Oh, and since I know I did a video on this previously with the Athearn and Scale Trains engines, on how I got them to run perfectly fine with speed matching. Here is the Atlas CVs that I eventually figured out. So in case you're curious as to get your own models to speed match, that's the configurations that I was able to figure out and get them to run. So that's it for now. I haven't really been doing too much here in the train room. Allergies have been plaguing me very much a lot lately, so just haven't really been feeling like doing anything lately out here other than just running the trains for the therapy session. But other than that, folks, that will do for today. As I said, I just wanted to mostly show off I wouldn't say show off, but in that kind of way, but present the newer models without doing like multiple videos. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions on any of these models, ask me. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I'm going to be making some more videos of just the trains running overall. So hope you enjoyed. Until next time.